A very big hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now today I thought I'd show some new Tiny Epic Dungeons content. This is Tiny Epic Dungeons. I've got a playthrough on the channel as well. I will leave a link at the end of the video if you want to check that out. Me and my friend Richard from Richmond Gaming, we had a really good time learning and playing the game together. Now today, we'll slide that out of the way, we are taking a look at the Tiny Epic Dungeons Stories expansion. Now this is a small box, but it packs quite a punch. Game expansion, not a standalone. This not only adds new things to the base game, it does include the brand new stories feature. So if you stick around till the back end of the video, you'll get to see those very special new additions, adding a little bit of narrative to your dungeon diving experience. So first of all, beautiful artwork as always. Tiny Epic series always do their own custom logo for each of their games. Tiny Epic Zombies, Tiny Epic Pirates, it's all themed, it's really cool. But anyway, let's have a look at what's in this. So we get 8 hero miniatures, I'm really excited to look at those. 7 wooden game pieces, those are for the new bosses, the new minions. Lots of stuff in this. 8 story cards, 2 new goblins, 12 new loot cards, dungeon cards, 5 of those, 8 hero mats, 2 boss mats, and of course a rulebook. So slide that out of the way. I have pre-opened this, so I do apologise guys, no cellophane to open or anything. I did kind of open this the other day and get very excited about it. First up, a little booklet. Obviously more symbols. This game is very, very symbol heavy. Sometimes to its detriment, you do really need to download the FAQ guide as well from the Gameling Games website to kind of make sense of the abundance of hieroglyphics that this game has. So we'll open this up. We do have a little bit of narrative prologue. You can pause that and read it if you like. I will be reading this when I do a playthrough on the channel. Hopefully me and Rich will get a playthrough, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll try and link up our schedules anyway. This stories expansion also adds a new component to the game, which is multi-layered dungeons. The base Tiny Epic Dungeons game is one dungeon in 2 phases. Exploration phase, unlock the boss, fight the boss, hopefully win. With this one, you can now go down to 3 levels of a dungeon, adding even more difficulty to quite a difficult game already. So I am excited to be trying that. Obviously new free actions in the game would be the descend action to go down to the next layer. Rejuvenate in between levels as well. You can gain a little bit of health ready to take on the next level of the dungeon. I'll do a setup kind of tutorial when we do play this, and that just takes you through all of those and fighting multiple bosses. And at the end of the booklet we get a really nice map of Ogmore, and if we zoom in this location here, this is where we are. We're on the Goblin Coast, and that's another little map there. Right, that's the booklet. Very cool. So next, let's take a look at the new tiles. So we've got 5 new room tiles, I think it is, including the stairs that descend down. Again, square tiles for the game board, really nice quality. I should be sleeving these up very soon. We have another goblin room there, looks like some kind of prison. We have a phoenix statue with some cool abilities on there. We have a fireworks room. I'm sure that's going to be crazy. Yeah, there's a skill test there. Damaging enemies costs a little bit of energy to use, and you lose health when you do it as well. And we've got a magic well. So those are the new rooms in this expansion. Those will be shuffled into the deck building action when you prep the base game. Next we have lots of new equipment cards. Now these are really cool. The game comes with really nice sets of equipment, and the more pieces of equipment from a particular set you get, so this would be Scarab, the more bonuses you get on your character, so this would be more defense based on how many of those items you've actually got. So we've got the Scarab ones, we have the Viper set, Smoke Pellets, Shadow Geese. This is a stealthy one, which is pretty cool. We have a dungeon map, which is awesome, so you gain additional movement speed, which is really cool, and during your rest action you can reveal the next adjacent 4 tiles, I think that is. That's really cool, I like that. Bedrolls, healing extra damage to the party when you are actually resting, that's really good. Everlit Torch, so you would activate the enemies on their turn, but you could reveal a room and gain 2 energy, that's really cool. And then Ceremonial Spear is a new cool magic weapon. Nice, so we'll put those there. Next onto the 2 new goblins. Now if you have played this, you will know that being overrun by goblins is one of the lose conditions of this game. There are more lose conditions than win conditions. So we've got a mighty goblin who is at that defense 7, absolutely tanky boy, and then a spelly goblin who's going to be throwing magic at us. Awesome. More difficulty, yay! I do like it. It's a nice challenge, and we have 2 new minions now. Obviously, or if you don't know, the minions are the way to unlock the boss room. You need to kill a number of minions equal to numbers of players, and these are shuffled and randomly drawn. So now, adding to the minion deck, we have a fire elemental and a golem. Both of them looking pretty spicy. Slow movement, lots of health, big damage, just how we like it. Right, next on to the 2 new bosses for this expansion. So we have the Tinkerer, who looks like a crazy mad dwarf kind of person. Yeah, these boss mats are quite interesting because when you get to phase 2 of the game, you either choose to stand on this mat in specific spaces and battle the boss in the boss room, or lure them out onto the field, which sometimes makes it a bit easier, but at the same time it's quite difficult as well. And then we've got the Mind Lasher. So is that their take on the classic Dungeons and Dragons Mind Flayer? I think it is. Psionic powers, eats your brain, gets more powerful. Yeah, I like those. Very, very nice. Next, this is some of the meat of this expansion. As we have 8 new playable characters, which is insane. That doubles the amount of playable characters to 16, 8 in the base game, 8 in this, and this is insane. This is the one, I put my favourite one at the top. It's the Pandakin Brewmaster. So he starts with very low stats, but as you can see, he can drink alcohol and buff his stats, and then recover himself by drinking more alcohol as well. So he's pretty cool, Pandakin Brewmaster. We also have a new Elf Warlock, a Taurus. We have Clotho, a human psionic, pretty cool. Lara Gambit is essentially Indiana Jones meets Lara Croft, so she's the tomb raiding, treasure hunting, dungeon delving character. Pretty cool, I like that one. Sir Gamelin. Gamelin is the mascot of Gamelin Games. He's in a few of the other Tiny Epic games as well. Tiny Epic Tactics, he's a playable character in that game as well, and he's pretty beefy. Good stats, lots of health, big damage. We've got Evelyn, a Dryad Druid, nice. Nearly Songheart, Halfling Bard, so we've got like a little hobbit kind of character. Zazili, a human monk, and that is all of them. They are really cool. Now, these also come with their own figures as well, so we will actually take a look at these, because this is the first Tiny Epic game where you actually get miniatures, and I love painting miniatures. I do like the meeples. The meeples are really cool, but I do like painting miniatures, and I'm looking forward to priming these, getting them painted, throwing them on the tabletop at some point. So that's Sir Gamelin. I'm going to get these wrong, so I'll just show you them. That's the Pandakin Brewmaster, who looks, that's a really cool model. I do like that. There's number 2. There's the third one. I'm not sure if that's the Dryad. We've got, I think that could be the Psionic character. We've got the monk doing a nice little kick, very reminiscent of like Avatar: The Last Airbender kind of looking thing. I like that. We've got another one there. Is that the elf? One of them, anyway. We have the Bard, Halfling Bard, really cool, singing enemies to death, and we have the Lara Croft, Indiana Jones, Nathan Drake, treasure hunter. That's pretty cool. Also, as well, you do get a little bag of tokens for the minions and the bosses, and then some new heart container tokens as well for those. Right, finally, this part of the stories expansion I've been looking forward to the most is the new quests which add the story to the game. So there are multiple, I won't spoil them all, but there's multiple ones. I think you randomly get chosen one of these. You essentially are given a setup condition, a task to perform during the dungeon, and rewards for success and failure. And they've added, like I said, there's 8 of them, which is really, really cool. So we shuffle those, we draw those. Every game will be different. I think from now on, I will be playing Tiny Epic Dungeons with the Stories expansion pretty much all of the time. There's no reason not to. Adding some narrative flair for a dungeon diving game seems pretty cool, I think. And that is everything that you get in this tiny little box. Amazing expansion. I'm looking forward to play it. Cannot wait. Let me know, guys, if you do play Tiny Epic Dungeons. I'll chat to you in the comments about this. If you want to know anything else about the game, including things from the base game, I have played it a handful of times now, so I'm kind of getting there with the knowledge. I still make mistakes along the way, but you know, it is what it is. We never really know how to play full board games, do we? We always mess up. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.